JayMike,
Jolter.
and this is Unisport Uncut episode number 35.
Golketvis.
35.
With the dab.
With the dab. What's the next thing after the dab?
I don't know, I'm just gonna stick with my Usain Bolt.
Wow, that is bold too.
Should I say Usain Jolt? Jolter, Bolter.
Wow, that is a bold.
Oh.
Anyways, y'all, this is getting way out of hand. Today we're going to talk about laceless technology, what it means, where it comes from, where it will be in the future. So without further ado, we brought some cool boots on the table and let's hit the 10 minutes on the clock. I brought the sound today.
I can hear that.
Thank you, thank you.
Good
so,
stuff.
Jolter, laceless technology, it's really gotten into prominence with Adidas releasing the ACE16 Purecontrol, and now with the 17 Purecontrol, it's really made a firm statement that it's here more or less to stay. So first of all, what do you think about it?
I think it's very nice that brands give us options to choose from, whether it is high cut boots, laceless boots. Whatever. I think it's nice, it makes people curious. I'm pretty sure that everybody who plays football at least wants to try these on,
Yes.
Like performance-wise, I'm not sold, on the idea of laceless stuff.
Okay.
Basically because, the best laceless boot on the market right now, the Purecontrol, is too narrow for me. So I can barely fit in. So,
yes.
But I think it's very nice.
And I agree with you. I think the laceless technology has been something that probably a lot of brands have been wanting to do for years, and we're going to skip a bit ahead there, that some brands have already done for years. But it's something that I think was kind of like with the introduction of knit and high cut boots, that it was kind of like the natural next step. And obviously Adidas blew everything wide open when they released the 16 Purecontrol, and it was, let's just say, what a big innovation. It's not necessarily an innovation that people had never seen before, but it just worked really well. And I tend to agree with you that it's nice to have the options, but it's not necessarily the best performing boot on the market because you can't fit your super monstrosity of a wide foot into it because it has to be so tight to give you the lockdown you need.
Exactly.
You can't adjust it. That's the thing. It either fits you or it doesn't.
Yes.
For me, it fits me really well. I enjoy playing in it. And I get a decent amount of lockdown in it, but I can imagine if you have a monster Titanic foot like you do.
Yeah, it's a little bit more difficult, And the lockdown is the main thing. It's another thing to get into the
Yes,
boots.
That's a whole different story.
Even for you, I assume that in the beginning, it takes a bit of effort to get in.
Honestly, with the 17 Purecontrol, I got in relatively easily. It was difficult, as it always is. You need to figure out how to put on the boot. But getting out, that was impossible. I had my ankles were cramping up, and I just kind of accepted that I was going to wear the boot forever. But that's another thing. It is more difficult to get into because you need the boot to be tight around the ankle. It has to have some sort of structural integrity to really keep your foot in place. So it's a bit of an, should we say, engineering thing to figure out how to do it. But Adidas have done it, and that's the beautiful thing. But do you think that with the Purecontrol and let's just get it out here, where is it? The GLITCH, which also is laceless. It's a bit of a different animal, but you still get that laceless sensation. Do you think that now that Adidas have introduced this concept that it's here to stay?
I think it's here to stay, Not saying that, it's gonna be the #1 choice for everybody. But for people who like it, I think it's gonna stay. And I'm pretty sure that, we're gonna see it more and more the following years. Also with, boots that have laces on, because a lot of people like that just because of many reasons.
Listen, there are two things in football that you can't kill. You can't kill leather and you can't kill laces.
Yes.
That's gonna be, when a brand does that, kills both leather and laces, and you just have synthetic laceless boots, I think my mind is gonna explode. Because I really won't be able to cope with that. But
So, JayMike.
Yes.
Tell the people, why does one even want to play with a boot that doesn't have any laces?
Well, for me, it's really about connecting with the ball, because when you have the laces, let's bring out the boot that has laces. We actually only have.
Well, we kind of have it here.
We kind of have it here. We took out the laces here a bit for you, but you can see that the laces are there in the way. They create some sort of bulk. We all know it. They create some sort of bulk when you hit the ball, and you get an uneven surface. And to some people, it's a bit of a nuisance that is just there, and they don't really feel that they connect well with the ball. But on a laceless boot, there is literally nothing than the tech fit material, which is very thin, by the way, and then a super thin coating of synthetic silicone that's there between you and the ball. So there's like nothing in the way. You just get, it's more or less like painted on your foot. And so it's super close, and you just get a really distractionless sensation on the ball. And that's one of the things that I enjoy a lot. This is one of the most fun boots to strike the ball in, because it's just glued to your foot all over. So that's really what I think.
Yes.
I don't mind my laces, but that's really.
Yeah, I don't. I would never blame the laces for my bad touch.
No, I would, because my touch is just bad. I blame everything.
Also, you can't like dismiss the fact that this is like 2017 swag. All the way up.
And that's another factor that people want to wear laceless boots, because they are hella swag.
People want to look good when they go out and do their sports, you know? But like I said, performance-wise, like I'm just gonna stick with my low-cut boots with some damn laces on.
Now that's a statement right there.
That's it.
That is a statement right there.
That's how I like it.
But let's look back in time a little bit, because back in 2006, a guy we know well, who also made not this particular boot, but the Magista, Dennis Dekovic, actually helped in creating the first laceless boot, the Lotto Zhero Gravity. This is not the first generation, but it still has that laceless construction. And it was a pretty groundbreaking boot back then. It was really difficult to get into. You had to have the shoe on and all that stuff, but it really set the tone for what you can achieve with a football boot that actually worked. Yes. So that's kind of where it's come from. And now we can see Adidas with the Purecontrol. We have the Glitch. We also have the Pure Chaos that has the lace cover, the Pure Agility with the lace cover. They're really into giving you that clean striking surface on the ball. And my question is just, where will it go from there? Will we see Nike? Don't do this at home, kids, by the way. We're going to tell you soon why. But don't take out your laces from a laced up boot, because there's a reason it's there. But will we see a laceless evoPOWER? Will we see a laceless Nike boot? What do you think?
Potentially yes. Like I think it's the same thing. Like like when brands started giving you, what do you call it? When the laces are on the outside, like going in a circle.
Asymmetrical lacing.
Asymmetrical lacing, exactly.
Wow.
I don't remember what the word was, but it was asymmetrical. like on the Hypervenom 1,
yes.
For instance, So, of course, you always want to try new things. Like, if you never try new things, then you will just keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. So, I think it's here to stay. I think laceless things are here to stay. Maybe there's going to be like a lace like going from here to here, like some, you just like tie a little notch here, and it's going to lock your foot. I don't know what's going to happen. But
what about, I'm going to say something completely outrageous here. What about zippers?
No,
but you do realize that also you took the subject and then you danced a fine line all around the subject. Are we going to see laceless boots from Nike and PUMA? Yes or no?
I'm going to say yes,
You think?
Yeah, you gotta give the people what they want. Some people want their laceless boots, they look cool, no matter which level of a player you are.
I'm just thinking, is this too much Adidas? I know that Nike started the whole knit hype.
That's the same thing. I think it's the same thing. They're gonna wait a couple of years, let Adidas do their thing. It's the same with the, when the Magista one came out, whoa, the world went crazy, and now all of a sudden everybody's knitting their football boots.
But it's not like Adidas really copied Nike, because they had made the knitted prime knit Sambas before the Magista came out. I mean,
but
this
you know
is
what
more
I mean.
like, yes, I know what you mean, but still.
Like, how come all of a sudden everybody's making knitted football boots? Like, whoa, all of a sudden, of course, you get inspiration from other people's work.
And life, and all that stuff.
Yeah, man.
And that's the thing. Another interesting thing I just wanted to touch on before we close it down is the fact that you talked about options. And we have here the ACE17.1 and the 17 Plus Purecontrol. They're more or less the same boots, but just one has laces and not the internal compression fit tongue, and the other one doesn't. So it's like, it's the same boot, but one has laces and I actually think it's a pretty cool way to do things, because if you really like the Ace, there's no reason that you have to go, for instance, on the Pure Chaos, where the X16.1 is so different from the Pure model, the Plus model. I think this is a pretty cool way to go, because you can just choose between having laces or not and get more or less the same lockdown.
I agree. You know, the more options, the better. And yes, the only downside about that is maybe, you know, the market is going to be flooded with like too many products for people to choose from, because we have to keep in mind that we get to. And there went the time.
Damn.
We have the option to, you know, try almost everything.
Yes.
Many people don't.
No.
So, you know, it's difficult, but, you know, you can never blame having more options.
No, the options are always good. But speaking of options, and we've kind of started it here, and guys, we're going to tell you really soon more about this, but it would be, you know, if you have your ACE17.1, you're thinking, it's more or less the same boot as the Purecontrol. I want it to be the Purecontrol, so I'm gonna take out the laces. Or you want your evoPOWER Vigor to be a laceless evoPOWER plus Vigor control, or whatever you want to no. Anyways, don't take out the laces. There's a reason that they're there. And, you know, whether it's on the Magista, it's a sock construction. On this, it has the sock construction. Don't take out the laces. And we're gonna tell you why really, really soon in another video. I just wanted to put it out there because...
You definitely put it out there.
I put it out there. Don't take out the laces, for Christ's sake. Did you get it, Jolter?
I get it.
Do you think they got it?
I think they got it, you know? I wouldn't do it in the first place anyways. I like my laces.
Yeah, so do I. I'm probably gonna prefer my laces as
so,
well.
JayMike, one last thing.
Yes.
One word.
Yes.
Laces or no laces?
Laces.
Laces.
Until they come up with laceless technology that can give me enough lockdown, in which case, I'm gonna go laceless.
Wow. This is like, you know, this is like wireless headphones or just regular headphones.
Yes.
You know?
So if they can, yeah, but that's a whole lot of discussion. Guys, let us know what you prefer. Do you prefer laces or do you prefer not to have laces?
And why?
Because one of you guys can actually win. Last time we had a winner and it is this guy with this comment.
Congratulations.
Well done, guys. Well done. And today, you can win the product that dumps into your screen right now by leaving a comment whether you want laces or not. And of course, you need to explain us why that is.
You can't just say, I want laces. That's not good enough.
That's the Jolter answer.
That's the Jolter answer,
Don't
you know?
do the Jolter answer.
Don't do that.
No, that's not the Jolter answer. You never reply in like single words. You do like,
no, man, I just explain, you know? Like,
do like the kind dance around the subject.
Yeah, man, but I like my laces, you know?
Okay, Jolter, we're spending way too much time here. Guys, leave us a
laces.
comment. Leave us a comment. I'm impressed by that very specific answer. Leave us a comment and we're going to see you next time in Unisport Uncut. We're going to sign off. Yo! Laces. Can you do it? Can you do it? Oh, no. Try again.
No more, man. It's too difficult with the... Okay, this is gonna...
I'm gonna leave.
Guys, here's how it's done. Okay, I'm gonna focus now.
Wow.
Fuck. It's too difficult with
It's too difficult.